right now.
No,
I'm being swept by the Dodgers. They've lost, by the way, 4 in a row.
Look, for so many things. They got outclassed, right? and you can say, Joe, they only lost by 1 run. But do you know how sports works, especially baseball? Like 1 run, throw that to the side. They look outclassed, and I'm not angry at it at all. It's a long season. I don't think this version of the Giants is going to be this version of the Giants come August, September, whether that's roster, form, etc. I will get into just one thing that sticks out to me that does outrage me regarding the Giants, and it's not about their shortcomings to the Dodgers. One thing I just want to start with, Monte, you watched a guy yesterday, Tyler Glasnow, who they traded for.
Yep.
They traded for him. Okay, now they had to throw more money his way and give him an extension. There's another guy they traded for, Mookie Betts, who's got one of the most historic starts to the season I've ever seen in my life. Another guy who was a free agent in Shohei Ohtani. Another guy in a free agent, Freddie Freeman. Like, I look at that team, and they've done a great job drafting and supplementing their entire roster. But of their top dogs who are getting huge money right now, Will Smith's the only guy that they drafted.
Yeah.
Okay? They've done an excellent job identifying the guys to keep and play, the James Outmans of the world, if you will, and the guys to flip, to go get guys who want big money. And when I look at the top of their order, $700 million for Shohei, $365 for Mookie Betts, $162 for Freddie Freeman. They have invested over $1 billion in the first 3 guys in their lineup. And I look at the Giants and I go, hey, you've got a lot of money. You do. Do you have Dodger money? No, nobody does in baseball. But you got a lot of money.
Got plenty.
A lot of money. And you did a great job this offseason swinging on some nice free agents. Now, they're not of the level of the 3 I just referenced, okay? If you're not going to win the money war, you better outdraft and outsmart teams. And so that brings me to the thing that does outrage me. When I look at where the Giants are right now, Soler, love that acquisition. Jung-Hoo Lee, he's made contact in 37 of the 43 balls he swung at. He looks like he's a keeper. I'm done with Yaz. I'm done with Slater. I don't want to see those two anymore.
Is that what has you outraged?
Is
it Yaz and Slater?
If you're going to get swept by the Dodgers, that's fine. You're not there yet. Play the young guy who shows promise. Play the young guy who actually hits righties better than Yaz. Play the young guy who hits lefties better than Slater over the last couple of years. Play the young guy who had a better second half of the season than both of those guys that I mentioned.
I think they will, and I think that's coming. Yaz was dropped to 7th yesterday.
We're
Slater,
done.
I think it's just a matter of time. They'll get Montos up. They'll get Luciano up. And don't get this thing fixed. This team will not look the same by the deadline. All you have to do if you're the Giants is just stay in the race. Stay in the race.
Agreed.
Stay in the race. I'm not going to be outraged because they played the Dodgers tough. This is a loaded team. But it is disappointing that Logan Webb didn't make it out the 4th inning in that game Tuesday night. It's a little disappointing. And Kyle Harrison, man, welcome to the rivalry.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy. The lefty got hit around a little bit. Kept the Giants in the game. I thought Keaton Wynn kept the Giants in the game on Monday night. But there's levels to this, and so far the most disappointing aspect of the Giants through the 7 games, through the first 7. And they're going to come back home after a day off today, and they'll get right at home, and they'll get rolling here. I do believe they'll start to roll. Bullpen's got to tighten up. So far, you can't even get the ball to damn Camilo Duvall. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get this guy in. So the bullpen right now is disappointing me early in the season, in which I think could be a World Series type of bullpen. But right now, it just doesn't look like it.
The bullpen has not been great, but I think your 2 top dog starters against one of the best lineups in baseball, maybe in the last 25 years. They're falling behind in counts, and then you have to give in. And Harrison talked about it, and Logan Webb talked about it. When you fall behind in counts, then you have to do a get it in their pitch. And when you're going up against elite hitters, they have a plan. Soler was talking about how he was identifying fastball. He's looking for fastball. Soler's a really good hitter. Mookie Betts is a great player. Freddie Freeman's a great player. So when you have to get it in pitch to great players who are sitting on specific things, they're going to tag you. And they've fallen behind here, and it's very difficult to dig out of it. Harrison clearly, like this, I'm glad they got Snell because He's a young player. You're going to have ups and downs.
He's your 3 or 4 guy.
I'm
not worried about that.
He's
3 or 4 guy.
21.
But here's the problem. When you look at the Dodgers and you look at their lineup, they're not going away for a long time. And so when I look back at the Red Sox, when they started with the World Series in the 2000s, and they realized that the Yankees were not going anywhere, and the Yankees under George Steinbrenner and Joe Torre were going to spin and spin and spin and spin and spin more. And trade. Any prospect, trade, load up for the playoffs, and get ready for a World Series run. Well, the Giants are going to have to start to think about that. And I think they started to this offseason because Mookie Betts, not going anywhere. Shohei, not going anywhere. Max Muncy, he's hitting well. Teoscar Hernandez, he's on a 1-year deal. I would love to have him in our outfield.
Miguel Rojas, your 9-hitter, he hit a home run yesterday.
He hit a home run yesterday. He smacked one. Gavin Lux, not going anywhere. Freddie Freeman, not going anywhere. Will Smith, not going anywhere.
Will Smith,
Glasnow, not going anywhere. Walker Buehler, not going anywhere. You get the point, folks?
Yamamoto.
They're not going anywhere.
Yamamoto,
not going anywhere.
We didn't even see him.
So if you're the Giants, you're going to have to get that Red Sox mentality under Theo Epstein in early 2000s. What I mean by that is you got to be in on every freaking player. You're going to have to sign guys, and you're going to have to form your own damn all-star team. And so when we're talking about trades, because I sent that tweet yesterday talking about, hey, Pete Alonso, the Paul Goldschmidts, and Luis Robert in Chicago, what are the White Sox going to do with them? They don't know what they're doing. Hell, I'll even take Eloy Jimenez off that team. You're going to have to load up and stack your lineup to fight fire with fire against the sea, because right off the rip, you brought up Mookie Betts. Tim Flannery had this tweet yesterday. He was on the post-game show yesterday with Laura Britt. Flan's going to join us today, by the way, in the 9 o'clock hour. Can't wait to do that. Yeah, Fleming, too. Of course, we have Steve Kerr coming up at 7:30. Loaded show. Tim Flannery sent out a tweet yesterday. I've seen a lot of incredible baseball things in my life, but what Mookie Betts is doing is off the charts. He's batting .500. 15 of 30 so far to start the season with 5 jacks, 11 RBIs, and 14 runs scored through 8 games. Entering Wednesday, he's out-homered 10 teams.
Monte, what did I say to you at the beginning of the year? I mean, and this isn't some hot take. Like, if you've been following, we know. I said, I think he's one of the best baseball players to ever play the game.
Wow.
Go from center field to right field to shortstop.
And he played second yesterday.
I mean, come on. Like, how many guys in the history of the game have that kind of positional versatility? Mm-hmm. And when I look at what he does at the top of the order, you tell me, as a leadoff man, I think Ricky Henderson is, to me, if you're talking about gold standard leadoff men, it's Ricky Henderson.
Best of the best.
Hands down, right?
Roberto Alomar bat leadoff, or was he in a 2-hole?
It depended on what team he was on.
Because Roberto Alomar is one of the greatest top of the lineup hitters I've ever seen.
Greatest second baseman.
Yeah, I mean, I know his career is marred because he spit out an umpire.
No, he was switch hitter.
Roberto Alomar is one of my favorite players of all time.
Totally agree. And I'm so glad you referenced that. That's a name that gets lost in the shuffle. I look at Mookie Betts and I say to myself, he hits for contact. He hits for power. He runs the bases as well as anyone in the game. His hand-eye coordination is unbelievable. You don't fool him. Like, you just don't. He hits the ball hard. His barrel rate, the numbers speak for themselves. What's the hole in his game?
He doesn't have a hole in this game.
And I think the way he plays the game with the rule changes and the emphasis on speed and now the pitch clock, and so endurance and conditioning and all those things matter even more. I just think he's a perfect player. Like, literally, if you created a player in a lab, he's it. And I look at him the same way I look at Steph Curry, Bonte. It's impossible for me to hate him.
Yeah. No, I don't hate him.
He's a Dodger. I can't hate him.
Well, it's going to go down, I think, the more and more I think about it, and every passing day and what he's doing right now in that Dodger blue. It's going to go down as one of the worst trades in American sports history. Trading Mookie Betts.
What a statement.
With the Boston Red Sox. Trading Mookie Betts is going to go down as one of the worst trades in North American sports history. And there's been a lot of trades across. I'm not sure we could pick apart trades. And one day in the offseason, once the Warriors, we'll see where this goes. But one day in the slow summer months, we can break this down for a show. And we'll have everybody call in the worst trade they've ever seen in their lives. And there's plenty of bad trades.
Oh, there's some.
This Mookie Betts one, though.
Bad ones.
This Mookie Betts one. I mean, the Dodgers.
But it's not like the Bucks. Excuse me, I don't mean to cut you off. But it's not like the Clippers traded away someone in these. This was the Boston Red Sox.
Boston Red Sox that did it.
With one of the highest payrolls in baseball, with more cash rich than anyone.
Yep.
It wasn't like it was, the Falcons trading Brett Favre. Like, okay, and I'm not dumping on the Falcons. This is the Red Sox.
Yep. Red Sox.
Trading to the Dodgers for financial implications.
Yeah. No, it's all tied back. Like this team, the L.A. Dodgers, they lost Corey Seager and they lost Trey Turner, and they haven't batted an eye. They lost J.D. Martinez to the New York Mets, and they haven't even blinked. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. They don't have Walker Buehler right now. He'll be back by the end of the month.
I think he's their best pitcher.
He's ramping up. Yeah. I love Walker Buehler. And then Clayton Kershaw for the second half of the season, who's still very capable.
Player,
he's still he had a very, very good season.
And Glasnow, there's a lot of people that are all over on Glasnow's a great.
He's just his problem. He can't stay healthy.
Yeah, he's great when he's there.
But his stuff is nasty.
Yeah,
nasty. So I'm not going to be outraged over the Giants. Dustin May, forgot about Dustin May.
With Ginger Guard, yeah. I mean, they've got a lot of guys. And they lost Urias. Don't forget. Like, Urias, the whole situation there, he was a young, promising guy. He was the guy who pitched in Game 5 against the Giants a couple years ago. Middle infield. I do want to talk about this. Now, Nick Ahmed is actually hitting better than because he had a couple of nice games. Yeah. Defensively, he's nice. Thairo Estrada is down bad right now. They need Thairo Estrada to step it up. He's been a table setter for this team the last couple of years. He got 27 at-bats, 8 strikeouts, only 4 hits. He's just not seeing the ball really well right now. And when I look at middle infield, I think that's a huge hole for the Giants. And look around baseball. Show me a good team right now that doesn't have an elite player at one, if not both, shortstop and second base.
You gotta have that.
And think about what they did in the free agency the last couple of years. Seager was out there. Simeon was out there. Now Trey Turner was out there, but he was
Dansby Swanson.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, come on.
There's been a lot of middle infielders that have been available, and the Giants are like, Carlos Correa a couple years ago, they had the opportunity to bring him in. So like right now, middle infield, as you look around baseball, where all these teams got pop and they have great defense, the Giants don't have anything at middle infield right now. They need Thairo Estrada to step it up.
But listen, I want to see what they do against the Padres again this weekend at Oracle Park for their home opener and whatnot, and we'll see what they do. Once they play San Diego, they play Washington. Washington's not a good team. You get the debut of Blake Snell on Monday. You go to Tampa Bay, and that's never an easy place to play with the catwalk and everything. Blake Snell going back to his home to pitch against his former team. And then you got Miami, and Marlins haven't won a game yet. But you got to get rolling here. You want to get rolling here to get some momentum before you don't want to slump too hard to start to lose some of the momentum you built during that San Diego series. Now, I know like baseball's fickle, and this fan base is eager to take that next step. It's going to take some patience. Folks, it's going to take some patience. But we do want to see the young guys. If you're infield, and this middle infield is not going to hit, and if they're not going to see the ball well, then it's just a matter of time before we see Marco Luciano. I need to see Marco Luciano. I need to see Luis Matos for a couple reasons. One, I want to see if they're good.
Yeah.
I want to see if they have something there.
Yeah.
And two, if they're not good, then I need to flip them for something by the deadline or before the deadline, because the Giants may need to get ahead of the deadline to try to trade for some of these big boys before the other names start. What the Dodgers say, you know what? Matter of fact, we want to go get a first baseman. You know what? The hell with it. Let's just go get somebody.
If Pete Alonso's available, they're going to be in on it.
You got to think he's going to be available. Goldsmith's probably going to be available.
Yes.
Luis Robert.
Now that's a great
Chicago
name.
White Sox.
They're doing something.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
Jerry Reinsdorf is clueless with this baseball team.
They might move.
He might move. Who the hell knows what's going to happen with him? So, but we're not going to whine about the 2-5 start. They have lost 4 in a row. They got to fix this. And right now, I just believe right now this team, the pitching's going to have to carry them early on.
I agree.
And the pitching so far has been underwhelming.
I agree. That's how you negate a great lineup. But I do believe there's a huge culture shift in baseball going on the last couple of years. Like, I value defense. Most people value defense. We know when it comes to the playoffs, you got to play great defense. But you look around the best teams in baseball, you can't have 3 and 4 guys that are no threats at the plate. Whether it's the Braves, whether it's the Phillies, whether it's the Padres.
What about the Cubs?
The Dodgers, the Cubs. Like all the teams in the National League that you're going to be vying for these wild card spots, they don't just trot out lineups because of the guy's numbers are slightly better. Like Slater, for example. The guy's got 38 home runs in his career. He's been a Giant for 8 years. Will Clark was a Giant for 8 years. How is a role player in the modern era where we're DFAing guys left and right, how has Slater stuck around this long being that impotent? So what I'm getting at is to your point about playing the young guys. What's that?
Farhan special.
Well, but playing the young guys, you owe it to yourself to put some guys in the lineup, even if the glove is lacking a little for Luciano or whatever. Get me a lineup that scares someone. You need to step into a couple here.
Hey, so Soler, he hit your jack yesterday, right?
That was a moonshot.
Call. And then following that up, Michael Forto, who's hitting the ball so well. I thought it was a tie game. Coming up.
How are you consuming that game last night? I was quietly, I have the earbuds in. I got the iPad.
Watching. I was in bed with my sleep mask on, just trying to go to sleep. And it's all right, Giants, you're making me stay up. Sleep mask. Yeah, it helps you sleep.
Oh, okay. It goes,
it just helps my breathing.
Not
so I could get into a deep REM sleep.
Oh, nice.
And really get some, I don't have to take that snowboard during the afternoon because of this thing. I've had it for over 2 years.
So you iPadding it or you
No, I had the TV up.
Oh, the TV.
Baby Chaz, I had the TV.
See, if I have the TV on, the baby's up and
no, Baby Chaz will sleep.
So I'm leaning to the
No,
side. I'm trying to keep the light, down. Keep going.
But this happened, and I thought we had a tie game.
I did too.
High and deep. And caught on the warning track.
I love you, Kite.
Thought we had a tie game.
We all did.
That was the saddest part.
But it was the second after Soler went absolutely yard.
452.
I thought we went back to back and tied the game.
High and deep. And caught on the warning track. Thought we had a tie game.
I love you, Kite. I love you. NBC Sports Bay Area.
He was just channeling his inner John Sterling.
This Hicks. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, there it goes. Deep left center. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. But caught. At the wall. Caught by Tapia.
Oh, my God.
All time.
Oh, my God.
Hey, that Conforto. Poor Kite, man. That Conforto play. That Conforto out was about 50 feet short of the warning. 50 feet short of the wall. It didn't even get to the warning track, man. I was like, what? High drive. Because I was looking down at my phone, formulating the tweet, and I hear the crack in the bat, and I hear a Kite. I'm like, oh, it's a tie game. We're going to extras. I was like, damn, that's not even close.